Hey, what it do, family? Let me tell you how to start a successful business from the ground. Let's get it! Hey, just so you know, young man right here, me and my folks, company worth over $150 million. No cap. Anyways, let's get right into how to do it. All right, so first of all, you got to understand one thing about entrepreneurship. Your mindset is everything, okay? Your mindset is everything. You got to believe in yourself. You got to know that there is no option to fail. You have to have that relentless, unstoppable mentality where it don't matter how shit goes today. I'm gonna make it happen. It don't matter if it happens today, tomorrow, next week, next year, because it probably won't work the next 2 years. You got to be willing to stay down till it come up, bro. It's like a springboard, right? You see how springs work? They go, you got to compress the spring before it goes doing. That's how you got to know that business works too, bro. You going to go into the negative first. In 99% of the cases, you're going to lose money before you make money. So you got to, first of all, have access to some money or a hell of a skill in which you can leverage that and get access to the money via other people. Because, of course, we already know money only comes from one place and one place only, and that's somebody else's pocket. Okay? So, knowing that, you got to know how to get a nigga the money. You got to know how to get them the money once you made the money. Because, of course, you're going to have to give it back to them, whether you give them equity in your company, whether you give them some money that you made in profit, etc. I mean, obviously, you only gonna get some money from them and then end up, or you're gonna give it to them with the intention of paying it back. Of course, because duh, nigga, you gonna make plenty of money. So anyways, let me tell you something that's ultra important, right? You gotta know that this thing is for the mentally stable. This entrepreneurship game is for people who got a lot of faith. This game is not for the weak, the faint of heart, the easily deterred, or any of that stuff. Because you're going to get chewed up, spit out, and get beat up, and all of that in the process. You might go broke multiple times. You could be up $200 million and then go broke. It happens, bro. That's business. That's entrepreneurship. And that's why one thing I definitely recommend along the way is make sure you secure some souvenirs, because you could climb the mountain and end up tripping up and falling and rolling down the whole thing. So make sure you don't just always be trying to make more money. I'm trying to stack it. I'm trying to stack it up. I'm trying to reinvest all the money. Reinvest. Yeah, you're supposed to do that in the earliest phases, but at some point you got to reward yourself. So don't wait too long, because at some point you either gonna die or die. So make sure you enjoy it while you got the chance, because of course you could go broke too, like I said. And if you go broke, the least you should have did, if you built a goddamn huge platform or a huge business or whatever it is, the least you could do is have already paid off your house, so you got somewhere to stay for the rest of your life, you know. But let me talk a little bit about how to do the business thing, and then I'm also talk about what to do with the money and how to think about the money, because a lot of people don't understand how to think about the money. So first of all, how to do the business thing. How you gonna start a business? You only got two options. You got either you're gonna leverage a part of your personality to make money, or, and mind you, that's how you normally give a service, or you're gonna sell somebody a product that they need, something that they feel like they need. Now, of course, we spiritual on this side, so we already know if you want it, you need it. Spiritually, you need it if you want that. So you gotta have it. So, man, somebody calling me right now, man. Chill out with it. Man, my bad. Somebody had a nerve to goddamn call me in the middle of my video. Anywho, so this is the thing. You're going to start the business, right? It's going to be leveraging a part of your personality or selling a product that they want. Because like I said, a product is something that you want to sell, something that they need, that they feel like they need. Whether it's something that they really need or not, you want to be able to give the impression that, oh my God, I got to get it. I got to have that. Ideally, you want to sell them something that basically when they buy it, they spend a lot of money on it. So you might want to sell, for example, right? You want to start a garbage disposal company, because that's a great one, right? Waste management type thing. You want to get rid of people's trash for them. All right, you're gonna get rid of people's trash for them. Obviously, you need a truck. You got to find a way to get a truck. Don't tell yourself no junk like, oh, but I don't have a truck. Truck costs a lot of money. I can't do it. I don't know anybody with a truck. Bruh, if you think like that, you don't need to be an entrepreneur. You gotta know there's a way. You gotta know there's a possibility, and multiple possibilities at that, in which I know I can make this happen. It's a matter of how I'm gonna get to it. It ain't if. It's a matter of when, not if. Okay? So you gotta have that relentless mentality, like I said, to where it's like, bro, I'm not finna take no for an answer. Bro, I don't care how long it take. I don't care if I gotta go ask somebody else for the money. I don't care if I gotta go into debt. I don't care if I gotta give away part of my business, or should I say, contribute to somebody's life, part of the equity in the business, in order to get them to buy the trucks. If you need a truck, get a truck. You can't be telling yourself all these limiting beliefs and stuff like, oh, that's for rich people, or oh, I can't do that. I can't afford to start a business because I got bills. Bruh, you are limiting yourself in so many ways. You must not realize you're a child of God. Okay? With God on your side, who can stop you? No one. All right. Anyway, so one thing that you got to recognize, right? Because eventually you're going to recognize the system. You're going to design the system. You're going to implement it. It's going to work. You're going to make money. You're going to figure out how to scale. You got to understand how important it is to scale. Get out of the way of your company's growth. You have got to get out of the way. What that means is you got to get other people to do everything. You got to hire somebody else to do everything, especially the parts that you love, because you got to remove all emotions out of business. You will never be able to do everything that business needs on your own, okay? At some point, you got to recognize, oh, shoot, I got to get somebody else in on this, okay? So please don't have that mentality where it's like, but I love my company. I want to keep 100% of it and all that type of shit, bro. All of that, throw it out the window, because I promise you one thing. There are companies that you're competing with who have a team of people who are not letting their emotions get in the way. Now, who you think gonna win in the competition of business, bro? Don't play this game if you're not willing to play up against the smartest people in the world. Because some of the smartest people in the world start companies, bro. The smartest people in the world are not trying to work too hard for every dime and still not get paid a lot in the end. So recognize that, bro. It's people who get paid billions of dollars a year. I said billions of dollars a year, and they do not work harder than you. So understand, obviously it's not about working harder to get paid more money. It's about making sure that you got a better system than most people. You have to have access to people who got money too. So of course, relationship building is ultra important, okay? Ultra important, okay? Like, you got to recognize, bro, we in contact with companies that got billions, and I'm talking about like hundreds of billions, tens of billions of dollars. And I'm talking about tens of billions coming in every year, bro. So when you have relationships like this, very easily the value of your company can skyrocket, because you have access to the people who have access to the resources that can always help you to grow your company. So you can't be the type of person who's like, oh, I'm an introvert and I don't want to talk to nobody. Hey, if you don't, that's cool. But hire somebody who is going to shake hands, talk to people, and do all of the networking that it takes. Because like I keep saying, the only place the money is in somebody else's pocket, and you got to get it from them. You got to give them a reason to give it to you. Whether y'all doing business together, aka y'all investing together, or you selling them something, bro. You got to sell the people with the money something. No, you can't be trying to sell poor people stuff. You can't be trying to sell something for so cheap or inexpensive that you got to sell 1 trillion of them just to make $1 million. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So make sure you sell something that's low-key expensive too. And of course, I'm not talking too much about all the stuff that I got going on, but I do want to say a couple of these things just to let people know that this shit is real, bro. Entrepreneurship can, so let me go ahead and say the most important thing: how to think about the money. Okay, how you think about the money. You cannot think like a regular person when you think about the money, bro. You can't be that nigga like, oh shit, I'm a millionaire, I might as well go ball now. I got a couple $1 million in my pocket, I might as well go ahead and go crazy and spend 600 grand on one item or 2 items and shit like that. It's like, chill. Yeah, you can do it. However, if you become that person who too soon gives yourself the gratification, it's gonna be too easy to go broke again. You get what I'm saying? Like, so if you do buy something, say for example, you just got this drink, you really want the, I don't know, what does somebody want? You might want a freaking Audemars watch, right? I really want this watch. But in order to justify buying the watch, I can't just pay cash for the watch. I gotta make this money flip one more time. All the money that I done made, I gotta flip it one more time, aka invest it and get the return on investment, and then let that pay for it. So it's very easy for somebody to get into that consumer mentality once it starts. Like if you've been denying and delaying gratification for a long time, it's very easy for you to keep doing it once you're used to that lifestyle. But it's hard to start to cut back and live below your means, and it's hard to continue to do that, especially when you know you could buy something. But the reason why it's so many people who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who still can't even afford to simply retire is because they did not flip their money enough times before they spent it. A lot of people got the wrong mentality, bro. Just because you got it don't mean you're supposed to start being a consumer. Of course you're supposed to enjoy it. Of course. But you have to think about this in a long-term way. So you have to buy high quality things and still get the best prices. You got to still mentally be like cheap. Like, I hate to say it like that, but you have to be this person who still tries to get everything on discount even when you can afford to pay full price. That's how you stay rich. You got to make sure when you do find that Audemars watch that you want, make sure that you negotiate the price a lot. Don't pay full price. It's nothing to brag about when you pay the same price everybody else would have to. You need to get into the mindset of, I have to pay less than retail for everything. Bro, you will save so much money on your bottom line, and you'll have much more money to invest into other things, aka more money to make more money with. So I'm just trying to put niggas on game real quick, you know? And it's so important that throughout all of this stuff, you make sure you keep your balance and don't work too hard and push away all your relationships and the people you care about and stuff like that. That's why really ideally you do want to have at least one business partner in the game, because it's so important to love your life, actually do things that you enjoy. Make sure that you're enjoying your life. Don't just work. And that's why it's so important to hire other people to get in on this with you, so that you can relax more, because you got all the responsibility. Damn, the least you can do is not have to work so hard. But if you got all the work on your plate and all the responsibility, you're gonna be stressed out and your hair gonna be falling out. You're gonna have a lot of money, but you're gonna be sad, you're gonna be bored, you're gonna want to get rid of the company and stuff like that. Mind you, selling the company is a great idea and you should do so, especially if it's your first one, because that could just help you catapult into another dimension. But you have to know that, bruh, it's not gonna be what you think it's gonna be. It's gonna be what it's supposed to be. You can't just be out here goddamn showing everybody, hey, look, I got it. You can't be out here buying 8 cars if you only got one butt to put in every seat. Like, bro, you gotta actually keep your balance and make sure you're helping other people. I done said this so many times on my channel, but it's really that important. Bring value to other people's lives, bro. Like, you can't just have this mentality of I gotta get it so I can get revenge and flex on everybody who doubted me in my life. I done seen so many people who just got so much hunger and anger to drive them. That's what's fueling them is, I want to prove the person from my childhood wrong, or my school teachers who said I wasn't gonna be nothing, or I want to get revenge on my exes or my dad, or whatever it is, bro. Don't let that be the only thing that motivates you, bro. Use that as fuel for sure. Whatever it is, whoever doubts your dreams and stuff, don't ever let somebody tell you that something is not possible, or that you can't do it, or that it's not a good idea. If you got the vision, it's worth doing, especially when you get other people who are on the same frequency as you involved. So of course it's possible to do it. Anything that you want is easily obtainable with discipline and a true vision and a lot of faith. You have to have the imagination to know that you can do anything, and then actually have the courage to try and go for it, and then also have the importunity to never quit until that result comes, because you're gonna get what you need, you're gonna get what you want, but everything takes longer than what you would really want it to. Actually, I got one more thing to say. A lot of people who have companies who are worth a lot of money, people have the misconception that somebody might have a lot of money because their companies are worth a lot of money. Bro, that ain't really how it works either. A lot of the times, ultra wealthy people don't have a lot of cash, because of course people be knowing the value of the dollar is crap. It's literally non-existent. But the value it sits in the companies. That's why a lot of business owners don't be paying taxes and stuff, because the money can be in the equity in the business. So if I got stock certificates, I don't have to pay taxes on the stock certificates that I hold. I'm like, what? No, that ain't how this works. Poor people pay taxes. And it might sound crappy to say that, but the truth is, people who have a lack of knowledge, it costs them the most. And I mean, of course, like I also said the thing about like making sure you live within your means and have a reasonable amount of desires and stuff, and don't be greedy and whatnot. So like you wouldn't be like wrong to expect that somebody who does have a really high net worth, you shouldn't be surprised if they're doing something like driving like Warren Buffett drive, like a freaking old ass Cadillac, right? Like a regular car, a normal car, just blending in, looking like everybody else. You probably walk past multimillionaires every day and you don't know that, because they just wearing regular clothes, like regular t-shirts, regular shoes, like not trying to flex or nothing like that, because it just doesn't make sense when you could actually put that money somewhere where it can continue to grow. Having a consumer mindset doesn't actually get you any further in your company. So very quickly, early in the most successful people's careers, at least successful in business, a lot of the time we train ourselves to basically only take out what we need and leave everything else in the company, because the company needs more than you do. Like as far as like what it takes for its vitality, the companies need way more to survive than what you need. All you need is food, clothing, and shelter, and entertainment. And really the entertainment part is optional because you can go outside and skip a rock and that could be your entertainment, and that's free. But like, it's super important to recognize that like really rich people do not think like regular people, like at all. So everything that you might think that you would do, you might already be super rich. Hey, I don't know what you do, but like a lot of people might expect that people who got a lot of money also spend a lot of money, and in proportion to how much money they have is probably not a lot of money, because like the people who know how to keep it are very wise with the purchases that they make. They make sure they get good deals and make sure not to do anything like basically sabotage themselves long term just for some short term gratification. Like it's super important to make sure that you realize, bro, it's not a good idea to be immature if you're trying to survive in a game that's so brutal like entrepreneurship, bro. In such a competitive world, and especially if you're in the capitalistic society, like, you know, duh. Like, bro, you can't be naive. You can't think that a drought won't come, or that your stock might not drop, or that you might not have a bad season, or a season where the sales isn't as high and stuff like that. You gotta expect all of that stuff. You gotta be prepared for the worst of the worst. And I hear a lot of people who really like run companies, they say basically, I just put out fires for a living, aka it's always a bunch of crap that they have to sort through and make it make sense. So like I said, make sure you mentally stable, make sure you stay meditating, you dig, you got to make sure you have a good diet, make sure you're not depriving yourself of nutrients and stuff like that, just trying to work too hard and stuff. Make sure you invest into yourself, knowledge wise, high quality food, all that type of stuff. Make sure you're taking great care of yourself the whole time, because your company needs you, your customers need you to stay alive and continue to thrive. And just to mention one last thing about something you might expect or might not expect that ultra rich people do, a lot of the time they don't even travel much until they reach certain thresholds of success. So just like I keep saying, just because somebody got it doesn't mean that they're gonna go spending it right away, because that's what a poor-minded person would do. But a long-term thinker is gonna be like, hey, I could go ahead and push this back a little bit, go ahead and wait a couple more years. Because the truth is, most people don't even expect their companies, like realistically, people with realistic expectations don't even expect their company to make any money in the first 5 years anyway. But shit, by 6 years, they expect it to be worth millions. Of course, it depends on what you're doing, what you're selling and all that stuff, but hey, you can do it if you want to. Go ahead and do it, because then you'll have more to pass down to the next generation, and you could really let them experience life from a perspective of what is actually worth living, because they're not having to work their entire lives. I'm not saying give everything to the kids and stuff to where they don't have any hunger at all or any ambition. But what I'm saying is nobody should have to spend their entire life making it their life's purpose just to pay for their house, just to pay off their house, just to pay off a house and a car. Like, these are just basic needs, and people shouldn't have to slave super hard just to try to take care of those. Click the thumbs up button, leave a comment. Until next time.